give comments, they can provide feedback in the video. So they can just provide ask questions. Okay? So this is an informal session of storytelling. We wanted to hear your stories, like because this is an international conference and we have a global audience. Although we don't have much audience now, but International Youth Conference is having a global audience, and we will make sure that whatever you share or what experiences you share here will be documented, and we'll be able to share that in the apcom, the source, apcom online sources, which is the Facebook, Twitter, our website. So apcom is a regional organization in Asia Pacific. It's used to be called Asia Pacific Coalition on Sexual Health, but now it's only being called apcom as a branding, as we want to brand ourselves as apcom. And apcom is an apcom is an organization where we implement innovative projects and we cater innovative ideas which targets MSM and transgender in the region, Asia and the Pacific. We have projects in Greater Mekong, which involves countries of Myanmar, Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos, PDR, and Thailand. We have partners and projects in ASEAN, which is the Insular Southeast Asian Networks, which involves the countries of Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Timor-Leste. And we have our partners in South Asia, which involves 7 countries: Afghanistan, Bhutan, Pakistan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, India, and Bangladesh. So those experiences, we're going to bring that all together in this one session so that we may learn from each other and we can also share that experience to other sub-regions in the country. So we have in our panel, we have Shampa Simula, our programs manager of apcom. We have Sanjay from Nepal. We have Viswaraj from Bangladesh, from Nepal, sorry. We have Linga from Indonesia, Jakarta, Indonesia, who will share the experiences on working with apcom and capacity building efforts as we did in their country. So, but before that, I would like to give the microphone to Shankha so he can share an overview of the capacity building activities that we're doing in both the Greater Mekong or in all of the subregions in Greater Mekong, ASEAN, and South Asia.
Thank you, Anat, for presenting this wonderful session. I'm Shankar, and I'm working with apcom as a program manager. The whole idea of this session, Turning the Corner, was to initiate an informal dialogue between the communities apcom is working with, understand the capacity building initiatives and efforts, and how should we leverage in the region the work we are doing for a greater impact. I mean, we do trainings, we do capacity building, we all do advocacy, but how this capacity building and advocacy can come together at regional level for more informed policy changes or for more informed policy decisions. Yeah. So, as I mentioned, apcom has been playing a very vital role in terms of building capacities of country networks, country partners, and regional organizations. We do have big grants. One is working under the Multi-Country South Asia project, wherein we cater to 7 countries and 7 community-based organizations, and Blue Diamond Society is part of it. We have Bondu from Bangladesh, we have Hamsafar Trust and PHS from India, and we have 6 CBOs from Pakistan, and from Sri Lanka we have FPA, and in Bhutan we have worked with LAXA, that's the NHIV network, as well as with the National Control Program. Under a Jumpstart program, which INAT leads in apcom, which caters more to Greater Mekong region and South Asian countries, and we have done capacity building programs over there in Indonesia, Myanmar, Cambodia, Philippines, Laos, and Malaysia, and Thailand also, which is where we are based. So this exercise or this kind of workshop, which is more informal, will help us to understand what we have done, what is initially done, and what the global level apcom has done to understand. The title itself is very dramatic, turning the corner. And it's very time that we turn the corner of funding, we turn the corner of investment resources, so that we can leverage better in our work we're doing in respective countries or in regional level or in local cities. I would hand over the mic to Sanjay now to talk about his experiences in capacity building and also the advocacy. I think Nepal has been a champion in South Asia region when it comes to advocacy. The policy changes what Nepal, the country has done over there is remarkable, and definitely the other countries should learn from Nepal how they have done with regards to creative laws, third gender recognitions, and they are also working at present under social protections for young people as well as transgenders. So let's hear from Sanjay.
Thank you, Sankar, and thank you for the apcom for this space, for the opportunity to share the best practices of the country. First of all, I want to share about the advocacy work with local people. We invite to government people in local government to our program, and also we also engage our team with their program also. And not just like only for 1 day, 2 day workshop is not for the long time, but we have to continue advocacy work with the government and they knows about our issues. So in the public forum, in the government forum, they can talk about the LGBTI issues also. And also we are providing some resources to the parliamentarian and the policy maker about the resource so they can read and they can know about the LGBTI issues. And not through the MSM grant, we don't have a grievance activity there, but we have an advocacy policy change flavor program through the MSA grant Africa, and we are working with the mostly government policy maker to change the policy law and these things. Also we have got just like 2015 in August for gender recognized passport in the August category, and the Supreme Court decision in 2007 they ordered the 120 the committee of the same-sex marriage committee, and same-sex marriage committee report is already with the parliament now to go the ministry level, and law ministry is looking after the same-sex report. And for the transgender people and the other trans people have getting the identity and the citizenship and others for 2 years back from Nepal government. And also Nepal government did the Red Book budget for the LGBTI people for the capacity builder program, and they have some budget for the LGBTI capacity builder program. So MSc grant, we have a community engagement through apcom, we have a resource mobilization workshop, so we can invite our community people who don't have the exposure to other country. But such kind of the platform apcom provide us, the community people can came to the Bangkok and they can also learn from the resource mobilization workshop, and also they have exposure how the people are working in the Bangkok. And secondly, we have working for our community-based organization to make their technical support to help them make their resource mobilization plan, HR policies, finance policies, technical support, and assess them as what they need. First, we need assessment to them, what kind of training they need. So we help them to the training for capital build-up, like proposal writing, management training, leadership training. This kind of training we have planning from the DBA grant, MSc grant to the meeting. And we have a government ownership, we have a responsibility commission, there is a program text and a program person for the LGBTI people, and the program ministry is the Women Social Welfare Ministry, is the program ministry of LGBTI of Nepal. So they do not have any problem and anything wrong with the government. But we have government can include in their 4-5 years action plan of the LGBTI issues also there, and policy also there in the base of the government policy, and the local level CBOs also getting funding from the government side for capacity build up with the Red Book of the government. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay, for that brief information about the capacity building initiatives. I would request Linga from Indonesia to speak about his work with Aishani Was under the capacity building and advocacy issues which they have dealt in their country, and what achievements are there and how South Asian partners can learn from your initiatives.
Okay, first of all, thank you for inviting us here. Maybe I can tell the story then. Okay, the Asian Divorce Program is global fund project. It's around, and it's a multi-countries project in Indonesia, Malaysia, Timor Leste, and the Philippines. And we work closely with PIMOS, the organization. So the main goal of this project is to strengthen the community-based organization in the four countries, as well as to strengthen the health service providers regard to Saudi and regard in MSM and country community. So we started in 2011, phase 1, and now actually we are in the closing period of the phase 2, but luckily the Global Fund extend our project until December 2017. So we still have chance to run our project. And the ASEAN Secretariat, our main function is to support the national network in the 4 countries. Actually, we work in 6 countries, but in Brunei Darussalam and Singapore, first of all, they are not eligible for the Global Fund project. And second, we have a huge barrier because in the Brunei Darussalam, they are not able to establish the national network. So the LGBT is very strict. The government of Brunei Darussalam are very strict to the LGBT. But we did make communication plus Idaho in May 2016, and yeah, we did it very secretly and careful because we didn't want to be recognized by the government. So we just 20 LGBT people come and we celebrate the Idaho in Brunei Darussalam, and we hope that next they will start to gather and to establish their network so they can join us. And in Singapore also we haven't changed to find the big national network in Singapore, and we also consider them as a developed country, so they not really need our support. So we are now more focused on Indonesia, Malaysia, and Philippines. So our work is first we strengthen the national network, we give them support. But also in the country where the national network are established, we help them to make the national network. For example, in Timor-Leste, they were not national network in 2013 or 14, I think, that we supported the MSM group to build their own network. It's called Godiva. Also in Malaysia, the Global Fund project, we work with the PT Foundation. It's like a big organization. They focus on the sexual health issue. But we force them to because we want to be run and owned by a community. So we force them to ask the community, the MSM and president community in Malaysia, to have a network, a national network. So in the last 2 years, we succeeded to support My ASEAN, this Malaysian-based community-based organization, and now they have 20 community-based MSM and transgender community-based organization join their network. And in Indonesia, thankfully we have already strong and huge network. It's called lgbti, and they have 103 or 5 community-based organizations around Indonesia, and they have been working in this issue for 7 years and have a good experience with management. So it is also our responsible to transfer knowledge from Indonesia, who already have a strong network and a long experience working with community, with government, in advocacy, in program management. So we also ask them to share it to Timor-Leste, the new country, the new national network. So that's what our part vision mainly is to provide knowledge sharing between the national network. Maybe that's the deep illustration for me.
Thank you. Now I want to ask this question. Before we proceed with the next speaker, I wanted to ask Linga and Sanjay. You have your different experiences in South Asia. You have your different experiences in ASEAN. Now, what do you think will be apcom's role in bringing these experiences together and sharing these experiences to other sub-regions?
FYI, mentioned, I think in the regional, sub-regional level, it is important for us to gather like success stories from each or some countries, and let's try to apply in another country because we have, I'm sure that in Asian we have many similarities, a culture, background, history, and it's like, for example, Indonesia and Malaysia. We share many culture, and also in Philippines. I think it also possible to do that to reach the Southeast Asia, the insular of Southeast Asian country to Southeast Asia, because I heard Southeast Asia project and agile MSM program in South Asia is quite good. So why we can learn from apcom and play that role, how to teach us, how to make us can learn from the other countries. I think that's the important.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to learning from the one country to other country because of the as a country partner we are working for the embassy grant to the 7 country, and most of the country have a still problem for the homosexuality, and they don't have a openly they can say like I'm a gay and these things. And as per the apcom part, we got the very engagement with the community with the apcom because of the technical support, capacity build up to the community CBOs through the embassy grant. Also this kind of the things in the session we can sharing our experience, and these things will be learning to the other country who are not here with us, and they can learn from us and they can expose to our country, and they can come to the exchange learning visit and they can learn from our country what's the advocacy doing on, and that platform provided by the apcom. So it's a very good opportunity to share our stories and learning to the other countries. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, let me introduce Richa from India. She is a program manager, and Humsafar manages the MSM component in India under the MSA grant. And Humsafar has been a champion in India with regards to MSM work and transgender work also. And they have done a lot of, their outreach is something which is well renowned, and plus they have some good research, and their advocacy work is also very good around section 377. And I feel very proud that I was part of Humsafar when I started my career. So I give the mic to Richa to talk about her experience with MSA, with particular to capacity building and advocacy.
Thank you, Shankar, for inviting us here from Humsafar. We started in MSA grant quite late in December 2014, but as and when the Humsafar was already working on the advocacy and capacity building component for in-country program Pehchan. So taking that cue, we built up our experiences to work for MSA grant, and this was quite a different states and different implementation area, though the work was same and there were some additional components, but the geography and the kind of people we were working were different. So it gave us quite a lot of learning for ourselves as a community-based organization, and also for MSA grant gave us opportunity to reach out to the hidden population in 11 states of India, which were never given benefit of any Global Fund project or HIV programs, capacity or building or advocacy programs. So So that was an additional, value addition to the program by the MSA grant. Coming to the capacity building, so as you said, we had already there is a capacity building department, different unit already existing in Humsafar. So what we did that we took up all those existing modules and added some different kind of modules to that, and then we presented in this 11 states, and we tailored our program to the needs of those particular states. What we understood at the during MSA program implementation, that the program the people who are actually implementing programs, the government people, government officials, they are other staff who are involved in the program from NGO side. They are not sensitized enough for this to give services to the community. Because what happened in these 11 states that the interventions are managed by the non-governmental organizations who have very vast area of work, and HIV prevention becomes one of the component for them. And unlike in other states, there were many community-based organizations who were giving services for even people from the community giving services to the community. So there was a lot of difference here. The people did not belong to the community who were implementing the program, did not belong to the community. So we had to start from scratch, sensitize them first. We had to, there were a lot of misconception amongst the people who are actually implementing, giving HIV prevention services to the MSM community. So we had to, do a lot of discussions, training programs. We changed that, their attitudes, their perceptions, their misconceptions. So that was an achievement for us. So starting from the government officials who work for state AIDS control societies, and for the people, program managers, M&E officers, counselors for that matter, outreach workers who did not belong to community but were working for the community interventions. We built their capacity on the issues of community. That was, the kind of major achievement of our program.
Thank you. So, there are a lot of things happening in your respective countries. So we have in Nepal, Indonesia. So I'll just refer to you as Indonesia, Linga, although you really cover different countries in Asia. Then we have India. But what are specific gaps that are still exist in your country in terms of community system strengthening that is not covered by any of the programs that you think are important to be addressed? And what are these gaps that you think should not be discussed anymore in the next few conferences, because these are just like basic issues that should be tackled upon? Can I start with you?
So the gaps that exist are, there are many community-based organizations. So because of the lot of work that has happened in past 5 years to bring up the community-based organization in forefront, there are organizations who have been, registered. They are working on ground for last 5 years, but due to fund crunch, now they have not been able to work. So resource mobilization and sustainability is the major challenge that every organization faces. But this, hardly budding organizations, they have a lot of passion, a lot of health work that have a lot of workforce, human resources that have been trained to work for the program. But just because there are no funds or there are no skills to about how to raise funds, all the past efforts will go into waste if they cannot sustain that. So that is the major gap that we need to, and we know now all over the world, because now, for example, in Indian context, India is a middle income country. The funders, donor agency are no longer interested to invest in India. MSM key populations are never a priority even in high-level meetings. So that will be always a challenge that community-based organizations will have to survive by themselves. There's no other way around it. So there are other aspects of program management that could be strengthened, but resource mobilization that's on the priority list, topmost at the priority list.
Before I go to Lingga and Sanjay, later this afternoon we have a session 5 p.m. with UNAIDS, and there will be speakers, the former president of Fiji, and we have also high-level civil society people who were in the high-level meeting. And they will be expressing their sentiments about the high-level meeting. And if it will be very good if you yourself could address that question to our panel later this afternoon.
Okay. I think the gap in Indonesia is quite the same. It's about resource mobilization and sustainability. Because I told you that we have many MSM and PG community-based organizations, like 100 and something member of the national network, and there are also some other who are not joined the network. And some of them, they have very few or less experience in regard to program management, and we really need to push them. As also their mindset on making the community-based organization as a project base. I mean, it's also quite problematic because it's very difficult to ensure that its sustainability. They only rely on the funds from the outside, and then also in Indonesia, especially in the last few months, we have like a backlash about the LGBT issue, and it also put us backward. Then we had to start it from the beginning, because before that, the LGBT or the MSM and transgender community, we can easily organize event, training, or any activity in the hotel or other public. But since a few months ago, we are very limited. Like in Jakarta, it's a big cities, but once we announce that we have an activity for MSM or transgender, we will get the backlash directly and indirectly. So some of activity we move it to Bali because it's never. It's also problematic because none of our organization have enough source money to do the meeting in a very safe and proper place. So yeah, I think it's also our but we work with other organizations. It's not only focused on HIV but also the LGBT organization that focus on advocacy on human rights. I think that is important thing that we have to work with all together. First up, quite the same regard with the resource mobilization and also the sustainability of, especially for the young CBOs.
Especially the gap is the same which as and he mentioned, but still there is because of the transgender and the gay people and bisexual man, as the trans are more visible and we can reach out transgender people easily, but the gay man and the bisexual man is the hidden population and we cannot reach easily to them, and most of them are not openly came to the offices and the CBOs to take the prevention activities and testing. This is the one gap, and the resource and the sustainability is the major challenges to everyone. And also we have a government ownership in the Nepal, government ownership taking the HIV prevention program through the government as a pool fund program, but the implement part is the very gap. And the implement the condom, lubricant, when they dispatch from their health ministry, it takes like long away, and there is a prevention gap, and the treatment prevention is the gap that should not go. And also there is the major gap, I think, about the resource mobilization. We have a resource mobilization plan, and some of the CBOs have their strategic plan also, and through that, if the donors is certain time for the project, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and if not works as per the plan to the resource mobilization, and that's also the gap, I think.
But in India and Nepal, you're still having the Global Fund round, the last round. How about the community system strengthening component of those programs? Are they effective? And how do you evaluate that in terms of efficacy and cost effectiveness?
Yeah, we have a national grant of the HIV program. We are working for the 23 districts through the Global Fund Save the Children PR, but there is no community strengthening program, only for the prevention program activities there. And there is low cost of the program is the only for condom and lubricant. But the CSS funding through the MSA grant or the seed funding grant, we work with them, the CBOs, in 2015 and 2016. And independently, the CBOs got the seed funding grant of CSS and the advocacy. They implement easily that grant. But as per the national grant, there is no any CSS program in Nepal.
So even MSA grant will be the only, now is the currently only program in India as well, where its community system strengthening component is there. Coming to that fourth part, it will be very difficult to say now at this stage cost effectiveness or that part. Efficacy, we can say that we are just at the starting initial phase of implementation. There had been 2 rounds of trainings and workshops that we conducted for specifically for resource mobilization and sustainability, and there are follow-up activities that we are looking forward to, where we will give not just giving trainings but also how these trained organizations or trained leaders, how they implement these strategies into their program, how they include it in their whole organization strategic plan. That is going to be our next during next 6 months. That will be our follow-up activity for that particular component. But again, coming to that, it becomes very it has become very tiny portion of the whole community system strengthening efforts that we had in the last 1 year. It was one of the component that we worked for. Efficacy is it will be after, it's very soon to say the efficacy, because once we done follow activities and once the CBO organizations are finalize their plans, they will be able to comment on that. Was that program effective enough? Whatever the intended skills were, where they able to grasp it, and the main answer to it, where these organizations are they able to sustain in next 1 or 2 years. So it will just have to wait, give it some more time. So maybe in extension phase, hopefully we'll be able to evaluate the efficacy and the cost effectiveness, all of the components of the.
Thank you. So yesterday I was in a youth pre-conference that was held in a separate venue in Durban Institute of Technology. So they were composed of young people, and there was a panel session where the panel were explaining about the Global Fund and the national strategic plans and the new funding model. And it was very unfortunate that only a few handful of young people know about the Global Fund. And it's really unfortunate that even in our countries, respective countries, that might be the same also. So now I'm going back again to the regional level, where we are overseeing all this information and all these experiences and all the lessons learned that we gather at the country level. So I would like to ask Shanka, as apcom is a regional organization working on this capacity building, technical support, technical assistance, how do you think is a regional approach to capacity building or to community system strengthening will actually fill in those gaps that they have identified?
What a regional organization can do is it's a question which I think everybody has in their respective minds. But what we learn from different countries, whatever a knowledge base is there, I think that is what is leveraged at the regional level. For example, all the technical assistance programs from apcom, the advocacy initiatives, it doesn't come from top to bottom approach. It is a bottom to top approach wherein the main country issues, country needs are specified, and apcom, being a regional organization, plays a vital role to give that larger push. Of course, we do a lot of advocacy in countries also, but to give that larger push to the policy change or at the regional level, where we are attending meetings for under the Global Fund Global Fund strategy meeting, or it's UNAID strategy meeting, or it's at the HLM meeting which Inad and Nilukar were there. It is not only about talking about APCOM. For us, it is about talking for the Asian Pacific region. It is talking for all of us over here who are present. APCOM doesn't ask for its own self, but APCOM asks on behalf of the community, so that there is actual investment in the respective countries. I mean, APCOM also initiated the entire process of writing to all the donors, which includes FR, Gates, and Global Fund, to leverage the investments for MSM and transgender communities in respective countries. Inad was part of the HLM meeting wherein he did a lot of advocacy for Asia Pacific region as well as MSM and transgender communities, but there is no mention about the community in the HLM2 declaration. But again, it goes back to what we are doing at country level and what we are doing at regional level. It is both top to bottom approach. We do learn from you, and whatever knowledge base, whatever the package we develop is actually goes to the top level. So we actually act as an intermediary between two, like for the top level and to the bottom level, and we try our best to put these recommendations to the larger policy makers for larger impact and changes. Yeah.
So I think it was a disappointing document, the political declaration. And I think the community system strengthening component of the Global Fund is also one of the disappointing components that the community can actually express out. It is because the money or the attention that the community deserve is not given appropriate attention. So this afternoon we're going to discuss more of that at 5 p.m. at the community dialogue space. But I just want to say that even if the attention that we deserve is not being, given, as long as there is passion and determination and existing leadership at the country level or at the community level, the voices of the community will not fade out. The community people will still make noise, will still assert, will still demand of the things that they think that they deserve. Yesterday during the Youth Pre-Conference, I was really amazed by the South African young people, because they're singing, they're laughing, they share experiences from their separate countries, like from Namibia, Uganda, Kenya, and South Africa. And they're really having this united call of as young person and as young leader in their respective communities, they are responsible to bring out the voices of not only the young people but the community as a whole. So in conclusion, I would think that as long as there is passion, determination, and there's a push from the bottom to the top, the voices of the community will not fade away, and they don't have a choice but to listen to us. And I am encouraging everyone, especially who's watching us in the live screening, that as long as there's some avenue for us to voice out our issues, we can still be heard, and there's still chance to push out every issues that that should be addressed by the high level authorities. So for the last words, I would like to ask each one of you for your recommendations, not only for your country or for the region, but recommendations for the entire HIV and AIDS advocacy and key affected population on how to move forward so that our voices on community strengthening can be heard.
I do agree with you. There is a lot of passion and commitment, and that's driving us for whole movement, you know. So moving forward, what we can do is to look within ourselves, you know, just rather than looking outside donor agencies, and also that is going to be always there, though that support, but how we can leverage our own internal resources, right, from the human resources, all other resources, financial resources, how we can bank upon them, that we can do, definitely do within coalitions like apcom. Regionally we can have a lot of exchange programs where we can learn from each other how advocacy is done. For example, the openness and the way with the advocacy is done in countries like Thailand or Indonesia or maybe other countries, that is, we still are lacking some there is some gaps also in our programs, but learning from others gives a push. And as I said, we have very cultural commonalities, so we can definitely learn from this common challenges that impeding our advancement. So it will definitely have collectively we can definitely do it, united we can definitely do it. And there is a lot of dialogue. If there is a lot of dialogue, cross-currency exchange, that will definitely show the impact of impact on the larger level. So as you said, as in Africa, it's the way they are united, we are not still that united. So yeah, that's how we need to work upon, how we can unite going beyond the cultural barriers, as language barriers, as an Asian continent, how we can work towards that. We need to work on that.
For me, maybe it's more focused on our government, because we really need a fully committed support from the government. I mean, you cannot take a global fund fund if you don't show your support to the LGBT community. It happens in Indonesia, in Malaysia. I mean, you say we need your money to strengthen the community-based organization, the help them or whatever. But in fact, your government also say no to LGBT community, or just don't do anything to make us better. So I mean, it's really important for us to also push our government. I think many Asian countries face the same problem. We push our government. If you really want to work with us, then work with us really committed. So I think that's.
Hello, I'm from Bangladesh. My name is Joya. I'm working now in a global fund support by organization, this ICDDRB. Bangladesh is a MSM and PG pair organization, ICDDRB. ICDDRB working now in capacity building CBO, community-based organization. 20 MSM and TG, 20 community-based organization develop ICDDRB. This most of the development some capacity building develop. The project in close last 15 year close the community-based capacity building project. This Bangladesh many and 20 community-based organization. There's no registration, there's no capacity building. This organization fund mobilized process. There is no capacity strong. Our country. This is a problem. This community-based organization support by Global Fund. Global Fund is a very difficult fund. This is a very clear cut. There is no problem. This fund close. At our country, CBO development partner and the local partner and Podokep. This problem face their IDO project, and this all the project close, and Global Fund the money back, and all Bangladesh support by organization, technical support by organization, their money back in Global Fund. So be careful in the Global Fund. So Global Fund is a very be careful and support by the This ICDDRB very strong and very monitoring support, and our partner organization is Bandhu and Lighthouse, two partner organization. This all time go to our employee and go to field and monitoring all time. And global one report submit. It's very difficult one. Okay?
Hello everyone, I'm Vishwaraj Adhikari, and yeah, I'm also from Nepal, and I'm currently working in a Blue Diamond Society as a program officer. And I think I should say something about gap and gap analysis also. So yeah, Sanjay also told something about it, but I just wanna add something is. If you are, if we are talking about our mission, visions, and goals, and working together or something like that, then we should, we shouldn't forget our target audience. Blue Diamond Society and apcom is also supporting, for LGBTI community, but not in only in Nepal. In South Asia level, lots of transgender people are more visible than other, gay people and bisexuals. We can easily can count in a hand open gay men and bisexuals, not only in Nepal, I think. And yeah, I have lots of my personal experience also, that how the gay men are facing in their daily life, that it's too difficult to come out in a society. Lots of problems are they are facing that. That's why they are suffering from the self-esteem, and that's the reason why they are they are in a high risk. So I just would like to request to the apcom that we should also provide some specific programs, and we also can develop some websites or social media so that we can connect regionally. Yeah, lots of gay people are they know that apcoms or Blue Diamond Society or other bandhus or other organization is working for LGBT community, but they didn't want to come and join with us because they feel that they are a little bit different than the transgender people, and some we have some we have same mission visions, but they still feel that they are completely different, and we are also trying to communicate and try to make them with us, but yeah, they are thinking like that's why we should develop some social media so that we can connect in these areas, and we should also understand that where they want to come and working together, all people are say that LGBT people are only working for transgender people, and in a area of HIV and STI sector. So that's the reason, I think that's the reason why lots of gay people are still hidden. If they are want to come in our organization and our society will say that he will be HIV positive, that's why he is working in these areas, So we also, if we can, we should provide some, human rights programs or some kind of program to them so that they can come and claim their rights, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, already Rita mentioned about the gaps thing, and there is you already mentioned about the HLM thing, because of the HLM is the high level meeting, and we have a working high level meeting in the country level, and the delegates go to the high level meeting to talk about the community. And last word, they have not political declaration, there is no mention about the community. There is the gap, because when the lips starting they says okay, we can have your attention, but at last time they only speak from the lips but no hands from the helping to the people. And secondly, their donors are interested with the government and the government ownership, but the government ownership it's good for us, every community and every country, but the government implement part is the very slow, and there is a huge gap for the HIV. when the 6 months we got only one condom and lubricants. After the 6 months, all over the country and the government policies, because of their procurement and hiring by these policies, it takes long time and there is a gap for the community level in the grassroots level. So, and for the community strengthening system, I request apcom, who is doing very well in the Asia Pacific region, because of the people from our community, they can be access to the apcom through the website and through the training and the meeting, with the engagement with the apcom from the different kind of management, leadership and the resource mobilization workshop and the technical support to the CBOs. So I think the community strengthening system, apcom would be take a lead for the region and have some more good experience and good knowledge and good things for the CBOs, and it helps to the community people and the young people, having some transgender young people in the coming future. Thank you.
I would not echo what my colleagues have mentioned, but I would definitely say that yes, we at this stage of the epidemic, we would need more investments. We do talk about the ambiguous targets or the ambitious targets of 90-90-90, but we are not talking about who will give the funding to reach out this 90-90-90 target. And I think we should now leverage more on investments for the region and investments for the MSM and transgender community, which I see is not there right now. But I definitely agree with what Biswaraj mentioned about that the most visible community is getting funding. But yesterday I was in the Trans-Free conference, but wherein I heard a different story saying that there is less investment in transgender people. So I think it will always be like that, and people would always be seeing that the grass is always green on the other side. But I think together as a community, MSM and transgender community have to work in collective coalitions so that we secure money for our programs till 2030 so that we can end AIDS. And I would definitely like to thank over here all the organizations who participated: Nepal BDS, Humsafar Trust, Bondu and ICDDRP, and plus Aishan and Blue Diamond Society, and the organizations which are not here but have done some tremendous work in our programs like VHS, FPA Sri Lanka, Laksam and NACP Bhutan, and all 6 new CBOs in Pakistan. I don't remember all their names. And yes, I'm sure Inad will have many other things to thank and do a closing remark for this session.
So, as a regional network, we use the international and regional conferences to gather information and to actually ask for recommendations of what we need to, what is needed to be done, particularly in terms of the issues that we commonly share. So, I have this one is this one will be documented, and we will make sure that. This is not only the issue of apcom, but also the issue of all the regional networks and sub-regional networks that should address. So as a closing remark, I would like to thank everyone for sharing the experiences. I would like to encourage the panelists to actually address your questions to the high-level panel this afternoon at 5 p.m. So we have we have the former president of Fiji, we have HIV/AIDS Alliance, Javier, who was very engaged in the high-level meeting. We have the executive director of AFAO. We have Shanka, of course, you can address your questions to him. And who else? So it's a high-level panel, it's in community dialogue space, and your questions are very valid. And I mean, that should be directed to that panel, the questions. So yeah, thank you very much for attending and for listening.
Thank you so much for inviting us.
Oh, and thank you to MSMGF for hosting.